be silly. Everyone was in the playground. Nadine had a surprise. It was a plastic snake. He had bought it on holiday. Mrs. May called everyone inside. Nina had an idea. She wanted to play a trick on Mrs. May. "Leave the snake here," she said. The children went inside. Mrs. May told them to sit down. Mrs. May, called Nina. "I can see a snake in the playground." "I can see it too," said Wilf. Everyone said they could see it. Mrs. May looked outside. "There is a snake outside," she said. Mrs. May gave Nina a plastic bag. She told her to put the snake in a bag. "Oh, Mrs. May, you know it was a plastic snake," said Biff. "Now for my snake," said Mrs. May. "What snake is that?" said Biff. "The adder," said Mrs. May. "You can all do some addition sums." Everyone was doing addition sums. The sums are hard. Then Wilf looked outside. "Look!" he yelled. There was a donkey in the playground. "It's a donkey!" called Nina. Mrs. May, everyone called. "There's a donkey in the playground." Mrs. May looked cross. "Is it made of plastic too?" she said. "It's true," said Mrs. May, said Wilf. "Look outside the window." Mrs. May looked out the window. She saw the donkey. "Someone will have to catch it," said Nina. "Mrs. May can catch it with a plastic bag," called Nadine. Mrs. May was cross. "Don't be silly, Nadine," she said. "Should we find animal rescue?" asked Biff. "That's a good idea, Biff," said Mrs. May. "Sit quietly while I go to the farm." At playtime, the children talked about the donkey. "It was easy to catch," began Wilf. "But then it wouldn't move," said Nina. "The two people pull it," began Chip. "And two people push it," said Biff. "We didn't do any more work," said Nadine. "Well, it's time to work now," said Mrs. May. Come back to the classroom. You can learn to spell something." "Spell what, Mrs. May?" said Wilf. "Donkey," said Mrs. May. Everyone was doing spelling. Wilf looked into the playground. "Look!" he yelled. There was a goose outside. "It's a goose," said Nina. Mrs. May, there's a goose in the playground." Mrs. May looked cross. "Don't be silly, Nina," she said. "It's true, Mrs. May," said Chip. "Look out of the window." Mrs. May looked out the window. "Oh my goodness," she said. "But it may not be a goose. It may be a gander." "Will you call animal rescue?" said Nadine. "Yes," said Mrs. May. "But I'm going to shoot it onto the field. It can't stay in the playground." The children wanted to help. "No," said Mrs. May. "Sit quietly." She went outside and waved her hands at the gander. The gander looked at Mrs. May. Then it began to chase her. The gander had pecked Mrs. May on the bottom, yelled Biff. Mrs. May came inside. Are you all right, Mrs. May? Asked Nina. Yes, thank you, said Mrs. May. I've got a joke, said Nadine. What fruit do ganders like? We don't know, said Chip. Gooseberries, laughed Nadine. The end. Bye-bye. See you next time.